Good morning. How was everybody this morning? Let me change this to the right photo. Oh, Lord. Sometimes TikTok gets on my nerves. So, this is what we're going to talk about today. If you are unaware, if you can't see any writing, you can't see the names, the photos because of the comments. If you have an Apple, you press the screen and hold it for a second. A menu will come up and then clear contents, and then you can see everything without all of the other stuff on the page. And if you have an Android, swipe to the right. That way, I don't have to worry about canceling the comments, or I should say pausing the comments. Sorry, I was a few minutes late. I had to get a cup of coffee. And child, the scammers is already scamming this morning. I'm sure Lisa will be up early since she hasn't eaten in 10 years. Good morning, good morning. We're almost at 100 people. Hello, CJ. That's true. Okay, and if you are a member of the team, please, White Sox, please don't start. Right. This is mommy's time. Find some place to go lay down. Chasing your sister is not going to work today. If you are a member of the team, hit the daily heart me. If you're not, or you're unfamiliar with me, stick around for a little while. And if you like what I do, hit the daily heart me, join the team. The only thing I ask, other than hit the daily heart me, is that every time I change a photo, please like the live until you see the heart, and continue to like the live until you feel the heart's tail. And then you are free to take a break. Good morning, good morning. You are free to take a break, because I'm more interested in you getting the information than the total number of likes that I get at the end. The number doesn't bother me. I am looking to make sure that the live doesn't get taken down. And the more important part is that it ends up on the FYP. If I get a violation today, I'm going to end and restart so that I have the greater chance. White Sox! Today's going to be a day, y'all. Why he try to act like he was going for the food and not her? He is... White Sox, look at me. Here, you know what? I got something for you. Come here, buddy. So I can go ahead and get started. Yep, come on. You can have a snack. I shouldn't be rewarding your bad behavior, but Kira, you don't like this one. I'll give you the one you like later. I'm trying to stop your brother from bothering you, okay? So that I could get... Yep, right. If the account gets taken, I'm just going to go live on Digital Deceivers Expose. Yep, here. You figure that out. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious. Sorry. The cats are catting today. There's Kira. Right in view of the camera. I'm trying to get him to leave you alone. Okay, y'all. I'm trying. Let me get this sip of coffee and get to the page that I want to be on. So, what I was saying, if I didn't finish, was that oh, thank you guys. I want you to tap the live until you feel the heart tail every time I change a photo. Okay? So, if you weren't here, just a reminder that Digital After Dark is going to be on the 17th at 8 p.m. I'm still looking for scammer experts. And what I mean by that is someone who's been around a while, who knows about the history of some of these scammers, the scams that they have done along the way, and what they're doing now. I do all of that so that people can understand. White socks. I just gave you a snack, buddy. Okay? Let's not have to escalate this any further. I think that it's important for people, especially people new to the community, to understand that there are patterns. It is why I can go from watching somebody a few times to go from Scammy Vibes and Bolo, which is Be on the Lookout, to, oh, thank you, that's so cute, to straight scammer. That's how I'm able to tell that, because I watched the pattern. And when they say something that doesn't make sense, you know what I say? It probably isn't true. Shout out to Judge Judy. I heard something today, this morning already, that didn't make sense. So we've already taken notes this morning. Did I make it for Lisa Richards today? I just started. No one has been spoken of. Okay. Let's do the bottom three. White socks. I swear, buddy, it's going to be me and you. So some of you guys were present. Yes, thank you, CJ. Gifts are appreciated but not expected. And what I do with my gifts is I transfer them over and I give them to other people who I think are doing the good work, so that they stay encouraged to continue to do so. Thank you guys for liking the live. I appreciate it. So Miss Hershey is now in a hotel. But before she was in the hotel, a new character got unlocked. And that's her baby daddy. And she was getting a lot of empathy from other women. Because we understand you're a single mother to 2 kids. You're struggling. We feel an automatic connection. But when the baby daddy showed up and he was staying there and he was making decisions like he was paying bills, that changed some things. Oh, thank you for being from the bayou. That changed some things. Because people are like, well, you have a grown, able-bodied man who's the father of the children who are clearly in their lives on some level. Why isn't he making sure you have electricity? How is a grown man laying next to you with his children in the house with no electricity? Yeah, okay. So, a lot of people had questions. And he pops off his lips as if he's doing something big. Like, sir, you should be filling out applications every single day. Now, I have some questions about what he really does, but I don't know for sure, and I'm not even going to put that label on him yet. I'm going to continue to watch and listen. But I think what was disheartening to me was that he was there and she was still complaining about his behavior. Like, he would come, she'd get rested, and then he'd wake her up to let her know he was leaving to go either hang out with his friends or in some cases with another woman. And that's disheartening to me, because especially with the fact that she's raising a little girl, you are setting the standard that it is okay for the man to do anything. She's raising a son, and she's raising him to understand that men can do whatever they want to do when it comes to the women in their lives and their children. It is bad all the way around. And when you ask her questions like, why are you putting up with this? She's just kind of like, well, if that's what he wants to do. She has, it's not an accent, but a drawl and a slowness to the way that she speaks that sends the message that she has diminished capacity. But I don't think so. Right, Tina? A lot of us busted our tail to get jobs to take care of our children. Now, it seems, according to her, when she was a child, she got disability. And that at a certain point, her mother cut it off. Why would your mother cut off your Social Security benefits? And when she cut them off, when you became of age, why didn't you go back for them? Now she's claiming that that's what she's going to do, and she has a caseworker that's helping her through it, blah, blah, blah. Now, I will admit that when you are trying for Social Security, the last thing you want to do is get a job. That's for fact. You can get a part-time job after, but not before. But she says it like it's imminent. Like, I'm going to go meet with them next Friday and I'm going to have it Monday morning. Social Security does not work that quickly. And now with them slashing the staff, it's going to take even longer. But most electric companies, and maybe this is what she's been banking on, when you have small children, they will let you go, especially if you can get a doctor's note about your child or yourself. And maybe she has utilized that so that I think she said the bill was $2,000. See, I agree with you. Except she doesn't recognize that she needs guidance. That's the problem. Right, oh Sherry, it's not going to be quick. Now, she does have in her favor that she was disabled as a child. But that doesn't mean they're not going to apply a greater scrutiny on, well, what have you been doing for the last 10 years? Barbie girl, at one point she was saying that her mom owned the home. And I kept saying, what mother, grandmother is going to let the children live in her home without electricity? Then when people were like, you need to call DCF, people need to call CPS, all of her family worked there. Everybody around you has a job, but you don't, and nobody's helping you. And when people are like, yes, I have family, but they won't help me, there's a reason. Especially somebody with 2 kids, young kids. But this is also my problem with her. She says anything. And I think she's doing it because she knows it creates controversy and it's going to make people want to hear what she has to say. Because remember, the thing that got everybody incensed is when she said that her daughter eats breakfast and lunch at school and she gives her water for dinner because she doesn't want her to get fat. Oh, some of these comments were filtered. That incensed everybody. And people were thinking, you have to be slow to think like that. I'm sorry. I just saw a news report that a little boy in Kentucky used his mother's phone to order 70,000 dum-dum suckers so he could share it with his friends. Yo, keep your kids out of your phone and out of your accounts. Please. And especially your photos. Cece, I understand. There are people on this app that I can't watch either. But I think what sticks me there is because I feel like her elder. I feel like I have a wealth of knowledge that could assist her. The problem is she doesn't really want it. And part of how I know that this slow act is an act is because yesterday she was talking about how she was going to Black Bikers Weekend. You don't have electricity, but you prepaid for your weekend at Black Bikers? Excuse me? And people were like, you ain't going to that because, like, all the hotels, everything's been booked. She was like, I've been paid. Now, two things. Either she has a lack of priorities or she's lying. But either way, it's disturbing. So she's in a hotel room that costs $58 a night. And my first question was, who paid for the hotel room? But let's remember that she braided somebody's hair and charged $100. So that could be where the 58 came from. But then she said, I have to find the money for a room today. And she was like, she couldn't believe that people wanted her to stay in a house without electricity. Nobody wants that, but nobody is going to fund you and an able-bodied grown man. Mind you, when people were like, why isn't your daughter in school? She was like, because she has the virus. Now, when people say the virus nowadays, we all assume COVID. That's the virus. Other than that, it's pneumonia, a cold, a bacterial infection, a viral infection. When you say the virus, that's COVID. But by the end of the morning, she's like, I'm going to take you to Walmart and buy you a dress so you can go to school tomorrow. How if she has the virus? Mind you, daughter didn't sound sick at all. Good morning. Right, Tina. It absolutely does mean to figure out how to beg people on here for money. So then I guess people had suggested to her that she fill out an application at Walmart. And she said to the lady, I want you to do it. And the lady was like, no, you shouldn't give out your personal information. And she was like, I'll give you my name, social security number, and birthday, but I want you to fill it out. And so I made the comment, even if somebody fills it out for you, they can't go on the interview and they can't do the job. The easiest part is the application. What you mean? And I don't even know if she has any job history. Or if she graduated from high school, her application might be super blank. Here's the demographic information and nothing else. And a signature on the last page. She is not as slow as people think she is. She talks slowly. She doesn't have an expansive vocabulary. She doesn't read well. But that doesn't mean that she doesn't have some sense. No, she can read because she reads the comments. But, so I asked her if I could come up. Now, you know, I don't, have I ever yelled, screamed, hooped, and hollered? Yes. But that's not my MO. And I think because, again, I see myself as an elder in her life, I would never go in yelling, screaming, hooping, hollering. Because that doesn't accomplish the goal. Why I'm arguing with this little girl, because that's how I see her. She's younger than my son. You're a little girl to me. I get in the box, and I'm trying to talk, and there's a bunch of crosstalk going on. Finally, she starts dropping people, and I'm like, you know, I just have a couple questions. And I'm like, is what you're saying real, or are you just making it up as you go along? Because from one live to the next, the story will change completely. And she dropped me. Why did you let me come up to ask one question and then drop me? So I was like, okay. So another young lady basically asked her the same thing. Like, what's real and what isn't? And why don't you do this and why don't you do that? And she had whatever her answers were. And then I left. Later on, she went live again. And I believe she was in the bed in the hotel at that point. And was like, I need y'all to come back in the box. And she called me Digit. She's like, Digit, you need to get in the box. As tempted as I was, this is about 9:30 last night. As tempted as I was, you do not get to beck and call me. Period. What was I going to do? Get in the box so you could just drop me again? Do I look dumb? I didn't request the box. What do you mean I need to get in the box? And you call me Digit instead of Digital. Like, ma'am. That's not how it works around here. Correct, Bella. Playing games. I do not like TikTok calling the team the fan club. I am not a fan of that. You know what, Barbie? I doubt it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because, again, she told the story about how this would be her fourth child because her third child had such severe disabilities that she needed to give it away to her sister. And now you're pregnant again. And apparently, if this one is just as disabled, it's going to be given away as well. Again, I think she says stuff that's going to either upset people or worry people. And she likes the interaction. She likes seeing her comment section go crazy. Bella, they don't want a child from you. You can't feed the children you have. What surrogate is gonna want you? Because you prioritize Black Bikers Weekend over the electricity in the house for your children. She also said, but it's not rage, Heather. That's the only there. It's baiting, but it's not rage baiting because she stays very calm. But she like you never know what's the truth and what's the lie. But when she talks about certain things, she was like, nah, that's my real life. He cheats on me. Yep, I know. Yep, that's my real life. And when people are like, yo, bro, you need to get a job, he's like, we about to do perks and pizza. What? And at one point, she was like, y'all think I need y'all for money? I get money. I could get money. I don't need y'all. Of course my kids eat. I provide. I do what I gotta do. Blah, blah, blah. That's not what you sounded like the other day. Why your electricity off if you can figure it out? But Black Bikers Weekend is coming. And we'll see if she's back in her electric-free a house or still in a hotel somewhere. What is not eating? That's facts. But you know, at the hotel, they have free breakfast. So everybody had breakfast. And then she was like, the kids already ate twice. And then they were going somewhere to have pizza. That's what I mean. That whole, I only give my daughter water at night was a lie. Good morning, good morning. It was a lie. So we're going to keep watching. There's going to be more. If you can get the money without having to beg on TikTok, I have nothing to say. I know Vampre, but because they lie, I don't want to say that. Long as she's not getting money from people on TikTok, I don't really care what she does. You start begging on TikTok, it's a problem. Okay, who's in the middle? I can't even remember. Hold on, I need to. Oh, J. Paul and Bree. Okay. Miss Ma'am. Miss Ma'am. How much longer do you expect for people to believe that you have this job and you need so much money to get to said job? Especially when the amounts change. Especially when you act like you're 100% desperate. You can't even you can't even turn the car on because there isn't even enough gas to turn it on. And yet somehow you made it to work and back. So, this was Monday. No, Sunday. Was it Sunday? It was either Sunday or Monday. Forgive me. But so it might have been Sunday was the original night that she was asking for money to get gas. $25. And I think she says she lives 45 minutes away now. My question is this. Why haven't you looked for a job closer? Because clearly this job isn't paying you enough just to travel back and forth. But no mention of looking for anything else. And you claim that you needed $25 to get to work, that you were desperate, and that you were already going to be late, but that you had called your boss. But you claim you didn't get it. The next day, you're asking for the same 25. And people are like, didn't you get it yesterday? And she was like, no, I didn't get it. I was able to drive to work and back on the skin of my teeth. No, on the gas that was in the gas gauge. Or you got the money and you want people to pretend like you didn't get the money. But how many times has she said, I can't be late anymore. I can't miss any more work. I'm going to get fired. How come you've never been fired? Because you're late all the time. Your ability to get there on time and work the whole shift is in question. And they wonder why we don't believe a single thing they say. Because we watch the pattern. We listen to the words. Her misfits don't, but I do. Because they will lie for her, like bald-faced lie. She'll be like, I'm not up here always asking for money. Jordan, you don't come to TikTok unless you're asking for money. You don't come up here to have a good time with your misfits. You don't. The only time she comes to TikTok is to ask for money. And as soon as she gets it, she's gone. So whether it's every day, every other day, 3 times a week, that is your entire content. And talking about your stalker. And let me add something in here. There are a number of scammers, beggars, liars, whatever. They're on the spectrum of scamming. And if you're unfamiliar with that, go to my page. It's pinned at the top. Don't you notice how we've become their content? We've become their content. And now, guess what we get to say? You're making money off of us. Your entire lives be about the haters, the people who are talking about you, the people who are stopping people from getting your money, and to look at all of these bad messages that people are getting, and look at what they're saying to me. They just want me to, and can you help me to prove the haters wrong? Are you getting clout off of us? Are y'all getting clout off of us? Are you getting sympathy off of us? Are you making money talking about us? Yeah, Karina. She does that every year. Kim does it too. Kim will take them where it's Mother's Day breakfast for free. And we'll use her reborn dolls. Oh, I'm talking about Lisa. I'm talking about Bree. I'm talking about a lot of them. You're now getting clout off of us. So, if you can make money off of talking about us, we can make money talking about you. How about that? How does that sound? Right. We'll neglect the dolls all year. By the way, can all of the mods say hello? We have some new mods. My suggestion is that you follow them all. Good morning, MLA Red. Hello, Sherry. Of course, CJ says goodbye. Make sure you follow them. Hello, not that Erica. I don't think not domestic survivor. Disturbed one is here yet. She usually comes in a little bit later. But please follow all my mods. This is the new team. And I'm very excited about it. So if you can't get in touch with me, get in touch with one of them. Thank you, Mama Bear. So, let's see how they like it when we start saying that they're getting clout off of us. Let's see. Good morning. So, of course, remember her Wi-Fi was really bad, and she kept saying it's because she's been using her hotspot for her homework. I don't believe that. I believe a bill had to get paid because literally like 2 days later it was perfect, and she was like, I'm trying not to use it. I think a bill got paid, whether it was Spectrum or her cell phone bill. Something got paid because she also was like, Spectrum, there's something wrong and they got to come out here and fix it. Now if she had said, they came out and fixed it, cool. But that's not what she said. She didn't even mention it. But suddenly it was perfect. For facts, CJ. I appreciate every single one of y'all getting up with me. Some people are setting alarms to be up with me. I appreciate it. I swear, it makes me take notes on days I don't feel like it. It makes me get up on mornings when I don't feel like it because y'all are looking for it. And I appreciate that you appreciate me. 110%. Okay, I'm just reading my notes where I was doing I do my commentary in the notes. And I was like, why don't you budget your money? Like, you know your work schedule in advance. How much money do you need? And put it in the gas tank. And then I said, if your paycheck isn't enough, get a second job or look for one closer. And I'm not saying that getting a job is easy in this economy. I'm not saying that. But how come I'm not going to say never, but they rarely make the choice that would stop them from needing to ask for money? They never make that choice. They only say, this is my options and I need your money. Never, you know what? I've been asking for gas money for 100 years. Maybe I need to do something different. And also, let's say this. When she was living closer, she was still asking for gas money. So is it really about distance? It's not. We know what it's for. And that's why the ask never changes. The ask never changes. Exactly, CJ. Child, her small bag of dog food is, of course she needs the $40, $50 bag. Has she ever shown the bag, though? Crashly seems so. I've never seen her show the bag. Now, I've seen her say what the bag is, and I've looked it up, and yes, it is as expensive as she says it is. But I've never seen it. But of course, one of her sycophants will go over there and tell her that I said that, and miraculously she'll start showing the bag. But I appreciate you all for being here, even if you're window watching. Let's talk about this lovely one. Now again, I have a problem with Bree for multiple reasons. By the way, especially if you're new, I try to put their name and their at there so that if you are unfamiliar, you can go watch them for yourself. I do not need you to take my word for it. Please go watch them yourself. And I love when y'all do, because then you can confirm that what I say is based on what they say. I don't need to make it up. I do not need to make it up. Karina, but she can't because Rick requires a very special diet. Anyway, Bree is becoming a higher profile scammer. Bree claims autism, although according to her family, she's never been diagnosed. Now, I'm not going to say she doesn't have something. She may. And they may just have never gotten her diagnosed. But she has an incredibly nasty attitude. And she's one of those camera warriors. And what I mean by that is, she thinks she's a badass. And she will let things come out of her mouth that her ass cannot catch. So, not too long ago, she was talking trash to an ex-friend, which she can't keep a friend for 30 seconds either. And of course she blames it on everybody else. Girl, when you have this many friend problems in real life, you are the common denominator. You are the person that causes the ruckus. But anyway, I digress. So she got mad at a friend in real life and was like, pull up. And the girl pulled up. And what did Bree do? Did Bree go out there and was like, let's square up? Like, you talking square up? No. She came to the chat and was like, she pulled up and now I don't feel safe. You told her to pull up. Of course, Patricia, because all of it's for views and money. She always talks about how these people do her wrong, but by the end of the live, they're friends again. And she's like, well, you could follow me. I'm not going to follow you back yet until, like, you prove your friendship. Girl, why are people dying to be her friend? I'll never understand. But you told the girl to pull up, and when she pulls up, you want to cry about your safety. And then, of course, because you got into it with these people, of course they doxed you. Of course they did. And so, instead of keeping said job, staying at a hotel that was willing to work with her every day, She quits the job and moves an hour away. And when she gets money for from her TikTok mom, and TikTok mom says spend it on whatever you want, she goes out and buys makeup and clothes and a controller for her, not a controller, a headset for her game. And she was like, it's only $20. $20 is half of your hotel room. Again, priorities. Priorities. That could have been better spent on food. But why doesn't she care? Because she knows she has a loyal following of people who will send her the money that she needs. So why does she need to be frugal? Why does she need to have priorities? For what? Y'all will pay her regardless, so. But just like every other scammer, it's going to come to an end. I'm sorry. So then last night, she talked about how she quit her job and she doesn't care what anybody thinks. But then she goes off on the job. She says that they talk about people behind their back and she can't work for a company where that's what people do. Ma'am, you are not there to change the culture. You're there to get a paycheck. And you mean to tell me in 1.5 shifts, you knew everything you needed to know? All excuses as far as I'm concerned. All to make her sound like she stands on this moral pillar. Has she looked for a job since she's been in a new location? No. And remember, when she was going to the location, she was like, we're going to a location where there's more opportunities. Correct, Wyoming. Correct. Because she would much rather lay in the bed with her fiance, play video games, talk for hours on live, and then say, for all of that, give me money. She wants you to dig in your pocket and give her money, but don't ask her to sell a reborn doll to take care of herself. Nothing about her life should have to change. And it was so funny because somebody said this the other day, and when I heard Miss Hershey say it, her name is Dee Dee, by the way, Miss Hershey. Her name is Dee Dee. And when someone said, hi, Dee Dee, she was like, you stalking me? How you know my name? Ma'am, you put it in the welcome message. But back to Bree. Wait a minute. I forgot what I was going to say just that fast. I'm sorry, guys. I lost my train of thought. She talks about how she knows everything there is in the Discord. And she's like, if you follow such and such, I'm blocking you. She believes in control. She wants to control everybody's moves. Someone said to me a while ago, look at how she treats her fiance. And ever since somebody said that, I've been paying attention. You notice her fiance barely says a word? There were days where I didn't even know somebody else was there until she said so. And said fiance has to ask her for permission. Was anybody in there last night when she said that her fiance had to ask her permission to go to sleep? Okay, Vampire. What? And when somebody asked about it, they were like, are you talking about your fiance or the doll? She was like, the doll isn't real. You act like it is. You act like it's real. You dancing around with the doll talking about, oh, I wish I could give you pizza on your birthday, but you're only 5 months old. Because it didn't make sense to us to think that the fiance would have to ask permission. She was like, my fiance. And then I think for a second she realized that doesn't sound good. So then she had to add in, well, she asks because she knows that I need her. And if I'm not doing well, she doesn't want to go to sleep because she doesn't want me to wake her up out of a sleep, dead sleep, in a panic. I don't give... I almost cursed. There is no way on God's green earth that I'd be in a relationship where if I'm sleepy, I gotta ask permission to go to sleep. I would have been like, talk to your friends on the internet like you do every other day. I'm taking a nap. What you mean you gotta be awake if I'm awake? Somebody needs to get to that fiance and say, run in the other direction. There is somebody else out there for you. And if you give yourself the opportunity to see what else is out there, you probably won't regret it. That is high level manipulation. No, fiance doesn't work. No, fiance doesn't work. And you might not really be able to see it unless you clear the screen, but that's fiance in the little corner of that photo. Fiance was a straight dude. Now he's transgender. And a lot of people have speculated that because she's a lesbian, that she encouraged his transgenderism to suit her needs. Now, I don't know that for sure. He could have hid it because maybe he knew his family or his circle wouldn't be accepting. I don't know. But if you're a straight lesbian, why are you talking to a straight acting man? Now he's not, though. But Lisa Rosado, if he has to ask for permission to take a nap, what else? Like, that is complete control of another person's being. What if he was tired? He needed the rest. I gotta ask permission? And if I gotta ask permission to deal with a regular bodily function, what else? One time, the first time I saw it, he got up out of the bed and she was like, she literally stopped mid-live. What are you doing? And it wasn't like, hey babe, what's where you going? Like an inquisitive, it was where, what are you doing? And he said something and she was like, but what are you doing? It is literally like she checks out of the live and needs to know their every single move. That's high manipulation. That's like cult. You know how cults use control and manipulation? That's the only thing that I could compare it to. I do too. Okay, Mama Bear. I do too. But yesterday it was cute because now she needs money for the hotel room. And she's like, guys, listen, I'm not asking. I'm not asking. But in case anybody would like to help us, and I'm not asking, I'm not begging, I'm just going to put the amount that we need in the sticker. And if you feel so inclined, and of course she didn't use those words because that's beyond her, but if you would like to, you can help. But I'm not asking. I'm not begging. And then up pops the $41. Or the 41 in a sticker. And it was cute because she didn't even put like the dollar sign, nor did she put what her apps were. Just the number 41. So anybody that scrolls through or TikTok's AI algorithm wouldn't pick it up. It just says 41. Can't be reported. Because TikTok doesn't know what it is. But this was the kicker for me. This was the kicker for me. When she said, I have tomorrow covered. And I'm thinking to myself, how? How would you have tomorrow covered? And then she was like, oh, because between the payout from this account and my reborn account, I should have enough to pay for the room. Boo-boo, you don't have it covered. You don't have it covered. Your audience has covered it for you. Well, I got it covered? You were gifting yourself? The audacity to say to people with a straight face who have given you all of the gifts you're about to cash out that you got it? But of course you claim that you are so thankful. Even when you get a rose, you're thankful. Because she says that to say that the larger creators don't even pay attention. They're getting so many gifts, they're only going to pay attention to the big ones. Because otherwise, their entire life would be, thank you for the rose, thank you for this, thank you for that. They won't be able to say anything else. Now, do I think a rich person on here needs a galaxy? No. But I can't tell other people how to spend their money. But the audacity. And I don't understand how smart people sit in there and continue to go for it. It baffles my brain. One day I'm going to have a mod live, and I just want to understand how you and I can hear the exact same thing, and you react that way and I react this way. I don't understand it. Hey, disturbed one. Everybody go follow her. She's a mod. I don't get it. I was going to save this for Lisa, but Bree's doing it as well. Do you notice that they are now telling people that send them a message to not even read it, just report it and block the person? I wonder why. Are we being effective? Now again, I'm going to stress that if you're going to be around here, I'm going to need you to be kind and nice to people. I'm going to need for you to be kind and nice. I know it can be frustrating because you want to wring their neck. Like, what don't you understand? But then if you keep doing that and your account keeps getting reported by various people that you have sent messages to, and TikTok takes your account, don't come here crying talking about help me get my account back. Nope. Nope. Correct, Andrea. I try to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Digital. You may not know me. But I'm not sure if you are aware of said scammer. You're an adult. I can't tell you what to do with your money. But before you send anybody on this app anything, do research. Literally put their name in the search bar and watch some videos. And if you've gotten this far in the message, thank you. And then I'm out. If they respond, I will add more detail. If they don't, they got that message and they can do with it what they choose. Correct, not that, Erica. Even with the scammers, the only thing you're doing is making them seem more sorry so that people give them money. That's it. And that's why they don't never say, oh, the nice message, the nice message. No, they only focus on the mean ones because what they're hoping is that other people will be like, wow, why is somebody being so mean? And remember, a lot of you might not have been around here during that time. But you know how they'll say kindness is free? How many people remember my response to kindness is free? Anybody been around long enough to remember that? When they say kindness is free in the chat? Nobody? Exactly, Cindy Lou. The truth is free. The truth indeed is free. That's facts too. But the truth is free. You worried about people being kind, I'm worried about the truth. The truth is free. That's true, Rita. Miss me with the kindness is free. The truth is free. They do not like that response at all. I can't tell you how many accounts I've been blocked when I say, but the truth is free. Especially if I at the person who said kindness is free. Whoa. I mean, blocked before I can blink. That's true, CJ. That's a good point. I've said that too. Once you give them your apps of cash information, expect to get requests ongoing behind the scenes. Let me see. So yes, they want them to report block. So please be kind. And as I said a little earlier, it is important to recognize that at this point, they are getting clout off of us. Because we have become their entire content. The haters. Look at Gabby. Gabby, you don't have nothing else to talk about. Your entire lives for hours are about the haters and the Reddits and the Discords. Tim and Angela have come off private because they weren't getting enough money. Let's be for real. And what do they talk about? The haters and Reddit and the videos that are being made and people are making money off of me and what? The clam slam only goes so far. That's funny. Right, Tina. And I'm not talking about her today, but you know what I said the other day. If you're going to open up your entire life to the internet, expect the internet to react. Right, they go private when they're getting a lot of heat. But when they aren't getting enough money, they always come off private. Bree and Ty couldn't take the heat and they finally moved into that camper, and so they don't need hotel money every day. And now his disability check covers their expenses. Yeah, he's a hard worker that never took the job that he claimed he was going to training for. But he's a real hard worker. He's a hard beggar, maybe. Oh, and something else. Guys, I tell you all this all the time. The scammers always mix some truth in with the lie. Because they need something to stand 10 toes down in. So, just thinking about Tim and Angela, where people were like, she probably didn't have cancer. How would you know? And because she didn't do chemo or radiation, that part of her body that had cancer, if they took it all, that wasn't necessary. But I just want y'all to bear in mind, there's always a little truth in the lie. So yes, that may have happened to her. Why doesn't she work? I agree. Dang, we've only done the bottom? God, I did misheard you. I can talk, y'all. I'm sorry. Goodness gracious. I know y'all be like, can this girl ever stop? All right. Let's do the bolos. So, Twisted Virgo. Let me go find the notes. Okay. So, when I was in her live the other day, I've been watching for a little while. And by the way, I didn't create this. This is just a picture from one of her videos. I just clipped it. She was asking the question what she should do about her baby daddy and her kids. So apparently he was a bad guy to her family, whatever the case may be. And now he wants to reconnect to the kids. Should she let him? Now, people were like, absolutely not. My question is, how does he feel about the kids? Because he may not like you. That doesn't mean he doesn't love his children. She didn't answer that question, of course. But immediately goes into tap the screen. You can join my team. I'm in Pennsylvania. I want to battle. And the person she wanted to battle was like, I'm not battling for a while. I'm not feeling well. And she was like, oh, well, maybe such and such wants to battle. They're like, no. And she's like, why doesn't anybody want to battle? And I realized in that moment that whole what should I do about my baby daddy was a way to get people in there so she could start asking for money. And then she started to complain about the fact that people were reporting her page. I don't know why they were reporting, but she's a happy muter blocker. She didn't give any apps of cash or her cousins, but it's coming. It's coming. I believe it's Sunflower. So I'll be watching. And when it happens, I'll report back. But I don't know who's... Well, I do know who's worse. I was about to say, I don't know who's worse between her and Sheena Schuster, or whatever her name is. It's Sheena. Sheena wins hands down. Again, I don't understand the entertainment in watching her. I can only watch her for so long. I do not understand the entertainment factor. What are people getting out of watching that? It's a bunch of rage bait. It's a bunch of, I'm the perfect parent, but I was an addict, but I was still the perfect parent, and I don't understand why my kids don't want nothing to do with me. Zero accountability for why your children are where they are, even as adults. And you are mad at the person who has them. Some of your children are old enough. They could talk to you without the intermediary, and they don't want to. So there you go. Twisted Virgo _86_ or Fruity _Pebbles Queen 69. Tells you everything you need to know, huh? You mixed in children's cereal with 69. Somebody make that make sense. Somebody make that make sense. Oh, I did. Sheena was easy to clock. Because she's so transparent. She literally stands in her kitchen and is rage baiting, arguing with people, full of drama every live, or battling. Oh, you think it's just wait, I think it's Twisted. Oh, I put Twister. You're right, it is. I apologize. It's Twisted Virgo. I was doing this last night. I was tired. I waited too late. You are correct. It is Twisted Virgo. I apologize. Don't look at Twister Virgo. Look at the Fruity Pebbles Queen 69. But it is Twisted Virgo. Where I get Twister from? You know what? I think that was autocorrect. Because I wouldn't have typed Twister. I know it's twisted. By the way, I told you guys this the other day. If you have an Apple of any kind, an iPad, a phone, an Apple Watch, a MacBook, there is a class action lawsuit because Miss Siri didn't know how to mind her business. It's a $95 million settlement. But they're already telling you the most you're going to get is $20 per device. And it could be an old device. You can do 5 devices per claim. So, go get your little coins. We should tell the scammers that. Go get your coins. Apple's giving free money. I'm waiting for the nosy girl in the corner, Alexa, to catch hers. Because how does she know that I'm calling her if she's not listening? Come on. Bolo number 2. Now, Blue Eyes, and it's Blue Eyes 072081. That's her name. That's her name and her act. So I only put it once. She claims to be 5 months clean. I've been watching her for a little bit. Sorry, I'm going back to find my original note. She claims that she's been clean for 5 months and that she's in a sober housing community. However, she's begging for money every day. And I don't know if she is tired or nodding. I'm leaning on the nodding side because that's what it looks like to me. I agree. Whoever said that, she wants sheets, blankets, a bus pass, makeup. Literally, she wants you to set her life up. Girl, people in sober housing need jobs. You spend more time on here begging for everything than you do applying for a job where you could pay for those things yourself. If you're in sober housing, you're probably in a program that could help you get bus tickets, bus passes. Where are you going? Really? Over a year? I thought she was brand new. Man, please. Please. Wow. Well, she was a bolo to me, but clearly she's not a bolo to yours. She has a telemarketing job. Let me tell you one thing about a telemarketing job. Most of the time, they have incentive pay. My very first job was being a telemarketer. I was 14 years old. And the only part of it that I remember vividly, well, 2 parts. One time I was working during the Super Bowl and I got in trouble because one of my customers was listening to the Super Bowl and I stayed on the phone with him for a long time so I could listen. And the second thing was that I had way too much money for a 14-year-old. Way too much money for a 14-year-old. I question the clean story. And now I damn sure question why you need sheets, blankets, bus passes, and makeup. Makeup? These people kill me with what they think should be our responsibility. Really, Amanda? Of course you got ignored. Let me just tell you, for some of these people who are clean, and I'm putting that in air quotes, correct, Luna Louise, 110%. Hold on, guys. Okay, I'm sorry. She took the shirts back for the money. Wow. Interesting. Okay. I'm in the middle of my life. Live. Okay. Sorry, guys. Third one. And for this third one, you can blame CJ. Tyler James. Okay, Mama Bear, I love it. Do I cover Detroit Nike? I haven't. I'm not doing Detroit Nike today, but I did do him Monday. And I showed the photo that he showed of women, of a black woman on all fours with a white child on her back, and said that that's all black women were good for. And then he tripled down and put it up and then claimed that he had taken it down and it was up for a very long time. And he still had black women giving him money. Really, CJ? Yeah, he's disgusting. Back to Tyler James. He's another one upset with the trolls. He was mad at them because they were saying something about his chat getting him hotel rooms and food. All she's asking for is $358. Kaylin, what made you give him money? Right. That's all. $358. So he can stay in a hotel for a week. Mind you. Oh, he's still at the tent. He still has the tent. Kaylin, let me say this to you though. And I appreciate you being here. I'm not knocking you. He has a mother that is active in his life. If his own mother won't give him a place to stay versus the tent, doesn't that tell you something? Because that informs me. And he's like, I like, what was it? Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, something. And he was like, but when my mother goes, she doesn't take me. Oh, he wanted to go somewhere to get fireworks that were illegal where he lives. Right, Mother of the Year. But for your mother to allow you to live in a tent, it didn't work out. He's not from Pittsburgh. I think he wanted to go there to get the fireworks. Right. Don't give to anybody on this app unless you have been able to vet them for a very long time. Because this is my thing, and I want people to understand this. I don't come after somebody just because they've asked for money. Because all of us have a valley. Like, literally, you could be riding. Look at all of the people. And I know I've told you this before. There was a gentleman who had served 10 years in the military. He got out and got a job with government and had worked there for another 10 years. He got a promotion. And the way the government works is when you get a promotion, they put you on probation. When Donald Trump's Doge team fired everybody on probation, he got fired because they treated the word probation like it meant brand new. I am sure he thought his life was set. He is strolling through life. And then boom, here's the valley. All of a sudden, out the blue, he didn't have a job anymore. And what if he needed to feed his children? What if he needed gas in his car so that he could go apply for another job or go to an interview? So understand, I'm not like, oh, you asking for money? I'm going to talk about you. That's not how it works over here. It's why I watch myself and don't take anybody's word for it. It's why I put the names up here so you can go watch for yourself so that you're not even taking my word for it. But the idea that your own mother won't let you stay with her, and so your alternative to going out and getting a job is to come on TikTok and beg for money to the tune of $358 a week just for a hotel room? I have questions. Right, Mary Beth? Why does she want to take care of a grown man? And if he has any medical deficiencies, go file for disability. That's what it's there for. It's what we paid our taxes for. Get on every government assistance you qualify for. That's why it's there. But what does he say? He says, it would be awesome if I was a famous influencer. What about you would make you a famous influencer, sir? That's true, Mary Beth. Unless they fired him with cause, and that might be a problem. But again, you come on live. You talk about the people who talk about you, how we are the worst people in the world. We're haters and trolls, and we wish they would go away. Like I said before, y'all, the new line is, if you're going to make your content about trolls, then you are profiting on us. You are now using us for clout. Let's see how much they like that. Since that's what they've been accusing of us of for months. Nobody's giving me $358. Andrea, let me tell you something. That is not an unpopular thinking. Because, of course, when you're young, you see famous people. Now that I've reached an age of maturity, I prefer my privacy. Thank you. Yeah, Granny. He said, I tried everything to stay inside another night. Did you try a job? Then he said someone promised him $300, which would be 4 nights, but he hasn't heard from that person. And then he said he had taxes coming, which means you had to do something for work. You don't have no kids. But that he doesn't want to spend that on a hotel, all of it on a hotel room. And then I wrote some commentary that I'm not going to say here, but you don't want to spend your tax money on a hotel that keeps you inside, but you want other people to use their paycheck money or their tax money or their inheritance to put you in a hotel? Sir, I'm going to need you to try again. What does the girl say? I'm going to put this napkin when I hold your hand. Grow up. Grow up. He's another Chef Carl. He expects the world to take care of him like we are his mother. TikTok chat is not your mother, sir. You have been raised to maturity. It is time. Yes, Chef Carl is back with a vengeance. He goes on very late at night to try to avoid us. What he doesn't understand is some of us are okay with a lack of sleep. And Chef Carl is doing the absolute most. I will probably talk about him Monday. Oh, that's right, the schedule. I'm having another dental surgery tomorrow. CJ is having a procedure, so he won't be here. So there is no live on Friday. I will post it on my account. I asked that all the mods share it to their account. Because even though I posted there, people are like, I was looking for you. Yes, because he wants you to put him in an apartment, so you pay first, last, and security. Then you also give him money for several months of his bills so that he can have his surgery. But in the meantime, he needs $800 and something so he could pay for a hotel for a week, even though he is laying in said hotel right now. That's Chef Carl briefly. He's a Looney Tune to think that he's going to get that. And he's using the account Chef Carl Leone 0099. Just in case anybody wants to go check him out. Those are the 3 bolos, although apparently they're just bolos to me. Now, let's go to the top. Maggie Lisa. Let's go with Mama C. Because she did this to herself. So if you recall, I talked about her one time. And I talked about her because I said she gets money rage baiting people It's all satire, but most people don't know that. And my issue with her is that she always rage baited based on someone who was below her. Somebody on food stamps, somebody on Medicaid, somebody getting Social Security, a mother with multiple children, a mother with a husband that had children from another relationship. Always people who she considered below her. Because she doesn't need any of those things. Why doesn't she rage bait about being in a group of stay-at-home moms that get drunk and swing? Why doesn't she rage bait about children's play dates? Why doesn't she rage bait about mothers who are a part of teacher, like the parent-teacher conference? She said that she makes more on TikTok than she would if she worked 50 hours at her job, at her old job. And it's at the end of every video, she was like, sorry, like, this is satire. But she doesn't do that. She has satire in her bio only. So she started going live. I don't know how long ago, but I've caught her live multiple times. She said things like, I do this content, or I do the content I do because I wouldn't be able to meet great people like you. I call BS. What do you mean? You can do any content you want. TikTok. You can do any content you want to meet these same people. Do I rage bait and I've met all of you? Then she said, somebody was like, you just do all of this for attention. And she said, yeah, I'm looking for attention. I don't get attention at home. So I asked her straight up from my digital account, why do you only make content about people below you? And her response to me was, Digital, I've seen your platform. Your platform is disgusting. Why am I using her for clout? Girl, I talked about you one time. One time. What clout did I get from talking about you one time? And B, I very, very rarely post about scammers on my page. I'm a start, but I haven't yet. So how can you say that my platform is disgusting? Have you come in one of my lives? I talked about you once. So you mean to tell me that because I talked about you one time, everything I talk about is disgusting? Sounds like you are on the side of the scammer, or you just don't like being called out for your nonsense. And of course she asks me a question and then blocks me. I love how they do that. You ask me a question, but you don't give me 2 seconds to respond. So, of course, I went right back in with my expose account and was like, why'd you ask me a question and then block me? Let me answer the question. And she was like, because I don't care to know what you have to say, and blocked me again. Then, bitch, don't ask me a question. Don't ask me a question. But if you were secure in what you do, why block me? I don't block like that. I'm secure in what I do. I have no need to block you. You can say almost anything. You don't have to like me. I honestly don't care. But the fact that you need to block me, every time that happens, it raises my suspicions even more. I am not the biggest creator on here that exposes people and their scammery. So why you got a problem with me? Why are you worried about me? You have how many followers? I shouldn't even be a blip on your radar. But clearly I've touched the nerve. I jumped all over top that nerve. So now you go live to tell people about the fact that it's a skit, it's a skit, it's a skit. Put it in the skit that it's a skit. So people stop sending you money because they think they're helping a mother with children that lost all of their benefits. What's crazy is that I've actually seen creators on YouTube use her satire videos to prove a point, not realizing that is satire. And I was like, she blocked me like I don't have 1,500 ways of going in and hearing what she had to say. So then she does the scammer thing that they do. She turned off the comments. And she says, should we do what does she call it? A comment challenge? Should we do a comment challenge? And I'm like, what is a comment challenge? I have never heard of that before. She was like, yes, we're going to do a comment challenge. She turns off the comments and says that she's giving her audience 6 minutes to give her 20,000 likes. And when she gets to 20,000 likes, she'll turn it back on because it's not free to watch her. Her words. It's not free to watch me. Her words. What you mean? Then she said, even if you're muted, you can still tap. Tell me that don't sound scammy vibes to you. Then she was like, so many people who hate me, I've been able to turn them and now they love me. Then she started telling a story that she claimed was her real life. And because her content is full of satire, I have no way of being able to say if this is true or not. But she starts to talk about her partner, who she tells us they're not actually married. And that he's 20 years older than her, but he doesn't like TikTok. But whatever he uses, she decided to create a fake profile and go after her boyfriend to see what he would do. And apparently, according to her, he's sending said profile money. She says she's been able to save $600. But that she's upset because some of the money he's sending is from her TikToks. She says they're no longer physical. They haven't done anything in 2 years. He sleeps in the bed, she sleeps on the couch. Someone suggested to her that she try to fix it, and her response was, why would I try to fix it? Why should I fix it? I don't want love or to do what adults do because I always get pregnant. I'm very fertile. She is happy with the roommate situation. Then says she can't leave him because she already has 2 children from 2 previous relationships that are already like in broken households. And they're on the spectrum. So she isn't going to do this to the 3 children she has with her roommates. Michelle Ray, rage bait. It's all satire. That she doesn't want to do the do because she's terrified of getting pregnant. That she had gotten pregnant while on birth control 3 times. She didn't want to do it again. Now, with everything else that she says and does on her account, is any of that true? And people are like, is this true or is this... She's like, this is my real life. How would we ever know? She scans the internet to hear people's stories who are actually getting government assistance and uses their stories for satire to make money on this app. Ma'am, you got it twisted. Your platform is disgusting. I call balls and strikes. You are the one making money off the clout of people who are really in these desperate situations. So you can say whatever you want about me, baby. Anything you'd like. You want to call me disgusting? You want to say that my platform is disgusting? Be my guest. Guess what, though? You aren't blocked. I am. Why are you worried about me watching you? CJ, you're a mess. I can't with you. Hey, my honey is here. I see you, baby. I see you. Thank you for coming and supporting me. So, yes, she's disgusting. Hi, Honey Bun. Everybody, that's Honey Bun. That's Mr. DD. So, I'm going to keep watching. Yes, Mr. Digital entered the chat. Y'all know White Sox, Kira. Now y'all know Mr. Digital. Oh, we know who's next. Hey, Kimberly, we got something else in common. So, we all know that a lot of us have tried to say, thank you guys, have tried to say to the people who support her, something isn't right. You guys are going to get... What did you say, CJ? He let us have DD for 9 hours a week. So, this is the thing. Yeah, watch the door, because anytime I talk about her, people start coming. Let me say this. When she loses all of her benefits, not a single one better come crying. Nobody better cry. I'm just going to need for you to open your wallets and take care of her. Because, oh, and by the way, I need to give. How am I going to forget it? Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. I have to give credit to Karina. Karina sent me this screenshot, and if you can't see it, remember, if you have an Apple, hold your finger down on the screen until the menu comes up, and then hit clear contents. If you have an Android, swipe to the right. But Karina was fast enough to catch this. This is how Maggie asks for money. She literally writes it down. And she asks for one at a time. So that's why it goes from 40 to 110 to 325, because she writes down what she needs for each thing and then asks for it.
So with Apple, it's power.
To get rid of the comments?
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's all I was talking about. I was talking about getting rid of the comments.
Oh. Nope. Shoot.
Uh-oh, y'all. Mr. Man is going to be a sub. They going to have a heart attack. Mr. DD sub. But yes, Karina, why don't you tell us a little bit about your adventures watching Maggie?
Oh, God. It's freaking ridiculous. Like, 1 minute she needs this, then the next is that. I'm like, really? You just got your check. What you do with it all?
Gambled it.
Exactly.
Gambled it away. Right. And they are still going to send. And what she doesn't realize is that for every dime she gets, the federal government can take that dime away, dollar for dollar, over what she's allowed to get. And the problem is that if they ever stop sending, now she has nothing.
Yep.
Digital gets a free sub along with he did not get a free sub. Let's be very clear about that. All right, Karina, I'm gonna drop you down. Thank you
Yep.
for coming up.
No problem, Digital.
So, Karina, I appreciate this because this proves the point. Princess Peach, what's going on with her behind the scenes? You want to come up and tell us? Yep, no freebies for Mr. DD. He get enough freebies here.
Hey, I just want to say that I was in her comments the other day, and I forget who it was I was having a discussion with, but I had made the comment that she was going to lose her benefits because of all this begging because she hadn't reported it. And this lady came at me and said, "No, she will not." I said, "Yes, she will because she's supposed to report everything." I said, "And even though she says it's tips, she's supposed to report it." And they said, "No, she's not." And I said, "Yes, if she gets SSI and all that, she's supposed to report it." Well, I work for SSI for so many years and you don't have to report it. I said, "Yes, ma'am." I said, "She's only allowed to make $600 a year with her SSI, and or else it has to be reported and she can lose it." Well,
No,
you must
wait,
know because you must
Vampry,
be on it.
Vampry. $600 isn't the right amount. It's almost 900. She can earn
Is
nine
it?
hundred a month and
Well,
not
I
report.
had read where it would had said 600, but that was a couple years ago, so I don't know.
Yeah, it goes up every year, but she is
Does it?
being investigated. What the 600 is that TikTok will start reporting you to the IRS once you get $600 in gifts on here. But she gets a lot of the money sent directly to the apps of cash and their cousins. Right, 940 to 1200, right, RU volume. And so she thinks that by having everybody send it to other people's apps of cash, that it won't reflect on her. But at some point, those people have to send her the money. And because they are watching her and they know that she's the one begging for the money, even though it's going to somebody else, the only thing she's creating for them is that the government is going to start watching their accounts. And if the government says, well, you've gotten that money because somebody begged for it, you need to start paying taxes on that money, they're going to be like, no, no, no. It was for Maggie. It was for Maggie. So
All for one pulled her tick leap from September to now, and she's made almost $5,000 in gifts.
oh, that is definitely going to be a problem for the IRS.
So, but I mean, me and that lady was going back and forth, and she was like, "She ain't got to claim none of this money," and I'm like, "Yeah, she does."
Vampire, do yourself a favor. You don't need to go back and forth. They've been warned. They've been warned. And this is the thing. It's not like we've made it up. All we have to do is use Kim Peters as our primary example of the person who was getting, like she bragged and said she got $1,000 in 2 days. Ask her what her rent was when they reviewed her accounts. It went from 3 to 8. And they took away some of her social security because of how much money she had gotten. So that the amount she paid in rent was more than the amount she was getting from social security. Now you can always go back to social security and say, I'm no longer getting it. But in her case, meaning Maggie's, she has gotten so much money that they may take it away and she may be paying it back for a year. She may be paying it back for a year. Now, I'm guesstimating based on the amount of money she's gotten over this time. And let's also remember, she's not just on TikTok, she does this on YouTube as well. Correct, Harley. EBT, housing, Medicaid, don't forget Medicare, and Social Security. And all I'm going to say is Miss Bonnie or Shirley, whoever's letting them use that apps of cash account, be prepared. Be prepared. I hope you have a room. Because apparently All for One didn't use that room for somebody else. You can't go there.
It's
What
just,
do
it's
you, Holly? Come
disgusting.
up. Shirley B's, exactly. Come up, Holly, because this is the other thing. Look at what she did to Melly. Now, Melly was a supporter. Like, Melly was her road dog. And when she got to Las Vegas and said that the person, before she even left for Vegas, she said the person stole her Vegas money, right? So she was literally crying tears. And people gave her money, including Melly. Melly, I think, sent her several $100s. I'm gonna let you up, but let me
Okay,
finish.
I'm gonna drop.
Okay, honey. Thank you for coming up.
You're welcome.
She got sent her several $100s, and Maggie said when she got the money, she would pay them back. Then, when she did get the money, she told them they could kick rocks. She wasn't paying anybody back. But then we find out that the girl who she said stole her money went to Vegas with her and spent the money. So it was literally a game from the beginning so she could get more money. And like I said to Melly, what also got me was that everybody forgot that the very next morning she got her social security check. But the money was stolen was all a lie because she went to Vegas with the very woman she said stole the money.
Mhm.
If anybody needs to get clocked, it's Maggie. Because not only is she begging for the money, she's playing games with the people in her chat, and they all think it's funny.
Mhm.
Okay, are you volume? I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's fine. Good morning.
Good morning.
So exactly what y'all are talking about, I have experienced this on each one of those levels with my brother, each scenario. So I have a brother who he had graduated from college, but we went through some stuff with him with his diabetes and all this to where he had to, get on disability, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he had Social Security, he was getting housing and all this stuff. Well, we were both, kind of, illiterate to the situation. Like we didn't know like what he could and couldn't do for real, right? So he went and got a job. When they found out my brother was working, he got a no pay due. Then they dropped it from his benefits. He had to pay all that stuff back. It was like 2 years. He got absolutely no benefits.
Mm-hmm.
It took forever for them to actually get him back on disability because he is disabled because he has some dementia,
Right.
because he was in a coma and all that type of stuff. So he technically cannot work per the Social Security, but he can work if that makes sense,
Right.
right?
You can work
So
and earn so much.
that's right. So first, it was for him. It was like 900 and something dollars. He couldn't go over like $1,000 or something like that a month, and we didn't know that, right? And he was
Right.
making like 3, 4 times that at the time. So they made him pay all that back. Okay, so then when he got it back, um, even right now, he just called me yesterday. For every dime. Oh, and there's another thing. Hold on, I meant to say this. There's also another program that the Social Security Administration has that a lot of these people don't take the time to find out. When they have a program called the Ticket to Work program,
Yep.
you can get into the Ticket to Work program and you can make as much money as you want to make. And it's a high limit that you can make. It's high. Okay. And they will not take your benefits. You will still get your housing. You will still get everything that you get. If you may, and I think I want to say it's like 50,000 or something like that, and it's high for somebody that is not supposed to be working, right? So you can make that, and they don't take your benefits from you, but people want to do it the sneaky way.
Yep.
So my brother, to this day, if somebody sent him, like he deals with the youth and the football team, and so sometimes the parents will pay him, to pick up the kids, and they'll cash app him. Do you know he has to keep a ledger for what all that was for, and he has to zero it out. If somebody gave him $10 because they came and picked up their son, he has to, okay, I got the $10, but the $10 went to my gas.
Mm-hmm.
He has to completely zero it out. if he's over his amount, right? So I don't understand why people keep saying like she's gonna get away with this and they're not gonna do nothing. Oh yes, they are. They catch almost everybody to do this stuff.
Let me say this. Somebody was like, they're looking to kick people off of programs who they feel don't deserve it. That's exactly who they're investigating right now.
Right. That's crazy. That's crazy. This lady says she's on disability and she can't work at all. Yeah, some people are on disability and can't work at all.
Right.
Like for instance, my brother has a memory issue, but he also works and he also does some side stuff. So he got his college degree in after he was in a coma. You know what I'm saying? So it's some people can still work. Like I had a hard time trying to get him care because he needed care at first. He needed actually somebody in his house to help him because he over there cooking, forgetting the stove is on, doing all kind of stuff, right? So the reason, even though he was disabled, they were like, but this is an able-bodied man. He can go outside and play basketball. So they felt like getting him an aide in his house would be just like providing him just, a luxury. So he walks a very fine line.
Yep, they do. They absolutely do. I don't know why they think that it's not going to happen, but it's gonna. Hey, Holly.
Good
Hey,
morning.
good morning.
Good morning. Y'all know I've been watching.
What you said something happened to you? What happened to you?
I'm gonna drop down. I just wanted to say
With
that.
me?
Thanks for having me
Okay,
up.
thank you.
Uh-huh.
I love when you come
No.
up. You're welcome.
No
What happened
problem.
to me? I was talking about what she did to Mel, but y'all just were talking about it. And
The Mel. Oh, okay.
yeah, because like I don't know, that was messed up. And Mel went live about it and told the whole thing because the girl was supposedly like hanging out with Maggie. Maggie knew she's going to get called out on it and be, and then she was like, "Yep, I got the money back," and nope, I ain't giving it back.
And this is the other thing, though. When somebody brought Mel up to Maggie, Maggie was like, "Oh, Mel is old news." What?
Yep.
Because you don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't want to have to face the fact that you did people wrong. So now it's everybody is old news.
She was like, "Why are y'all bringing this up? This happened a long time ago," and that's true. But the stuff about the money coming out, like she got the money back, and I was like, there was $900 or something like that. But she got the money back and all this stuff, and then she was like, made a joke about it, like, "Yeah, I got it back." And they said the only reason she started talking about she got that money back is because that girl Shawnee was popping up in the comments. So she was coming around, and they knew, like Maggie knew that somebody's about to call her out on it. Like, why, if this girl stole this money from you, then why is she hanging around you? But come to find out, they were like in Vegas partying with the money together or whatever.
Yep.
Well, gambling it up. And I know because Maggie said on her live, she said, "Y'all want y'all money back? Call Vegas. Call Vegas. Vegas got y'all money."
Yep.
So, and then when she was on live the other day asking for that money for her, it was last Sunday or this past Sunday. Yes, hell, she does so much. It's hard to keep up with her. But she was like, "I got to get a lift or whatever," so she needed $65. But I'm gonna tell you something. I sit there and watch them comments. That lady had a lot of people in and out of that chat, and I mean, yes, they were blocking and muting a lot of people, but so many people were saying, "I sent this, I sent that." Like, I counted over $200 people were saying they sent. And some people will say they sent stuff and really didn't send it. But all the money, I know she got at least $65 out of what people were saying they sent. Because then it went to, okay, I need $110. I got to have $50 for my laundry soap and my quarters and something else, something about an event. I don't even remember what it was, but she needed $110. So she got the $65 and then immediately got her paper and was like, okay, $50 for laundry soap. And I don't know what kind of laundry soap she's buying. It's $50.
And including the quarters.
Well, it's just, I just don't get it. Like, I don't understand it. And then also, there's SSDI and there's SSI. That it's a little bit different. It's easier to get the SSI, and I know from past experiences. I apply for both, and within 6 months I got my SSI. Now I drew it for 7 years, and because they sent me it was a bunch of stuff, but I'm not getting anymore. I had to reapply. I'm having to reapply, and I've been fighting this time for 3 years. And it's because it's the SSDI part. It's the actual disability part. and that is hard to get.
Oh, I've been
So
fighting for 7 years for my SSDI.
yes, and that's what I'm saying. It's harder to get that. You know what I'm saying? I did my last appeal December 2023, and I still haven't heard anything from these people.
Wow.
Yeah, and and you know you can't work while you're waiting. I mean,
Right. You can't work.
and my
like
son,
that.
like my son, has Russell Silver syndrome. He's 22 years old. He's never weighed over 80 pounds. That meant he's a farmer. He gets out here and works his butt off every day, but it's taking a toll on my kid. Like I see it breaking his body down, you know, because he's like, what it does is half of their body's like shorter than the other or whatever. So his bones, like his back and legs, it hurts. And so I call disability because it's a mitochondrial DNA disorder, and that is listed as like one of the top things for disability. I called them and I asked them, I was like, what do I do? Because you can't work and apply for disability, but you can't, you know, like,
How do you survive?
you got to just sit and wait. And that's what the lady told me. She said, I said, like, he has car payment and stuff. Like, how's he supposed to take care? She said, that's the thing. You just got to figure it out until you get approved. Like, what? You know, so, and then you got people out here taking advantage of stuff like that. And, like, it bothers me. Like, it does. And, you know, I see Maggie ain't got it all, you know what I'm saying? But she's got enough damn sense to get on this app and hustle.
Right. And travel all over the country.
That's why I hate when people say, I really dislike when people say, Maggie's disability. Maggie does not have a disability. She has an autoimmune disorder. She does not have a disability. It's an autoimmune disorder.
It's a lazy disability, a overeating disorder. That when she was eating that chicken the other day, y'all, and she, I'm sorry, Lord forgive me, but she done ate them 2 plates of food, and then she said, I wish I had me some more. Like, I like to die. That was so funny to me. I'm like, Maggie, come on now, you can't be doing this. Like, she didn't care. She don't care though. She really don't.
Digital, let me tell you.
Go ahead, Candy.
I woke up to a message this morning from the lady. She went to Vegas with the lady. Messaged me. It said, "Why are you speaking on me?" I was not in Vegas with her. She said, I was not in Vegas with her. And no, I didn't steal that money from her. She said, I told these people, these little kids on TikTok to stay out of the situation, and it's going to play out itself and y'all will see. That lady said still to this day, she's never stole that money. Maggie has had that money that whole time and makes up stories. First it was me stealing from her. Then it was Shawnee stealing from her. Now it's Mel. Maggie has had that money the entire time. Maggie has that money.
She probably got it now, but I believe she had that money. She gambled it away, and then she didn't have the money for herself, so she had to start with this lies to make it look like somebody else did it to her.
That's my point.
Yes.
That lady got in my inbox last night on Instagram and said, I wish these people will stop talking about me. And this is not the first time she told me that she did not steal this money. This is the third time. She told me.
Well, I know she didn't steal the money, but
I said, why won't you speak up?
She said for herself that she was in Vegas with Maggie.
Yeah, she said she was basically, a trolling the little girl. She said, but I was not in Vegas with Maggie.
Oh, wow.
Well, she just went along with it to help her get the money up or whatever. But she did say that she said that she was in Vegas with that lady, that the money, that her hotel got canceled. And what else was it, Volume? Do you remember?
Her hotel, her flight, and everything like that.
Yeah, got canceled.
At first, she said Shawnee did it. And her real name is not Shawnee. So,
but then she accused Mel of it.
She accused Mel of it, exactly. Then before it was that, she was like, everybody was calling to have everything canceled.
And then if you remember when Mel went live and started calling her out,
yep.
Then Maggie was like, no, she tried to take it all back. Then tried to be like, well, y'all just quit talking about it. But people were calling her out on it, and she didn't know what to say.
And Harley Ryder girl, yes, I used to let Maggie use my Cash App. This is before I even knew. I didn't let her use it on TikTok. This is way before. This is on Instagram. And once I found out what she was doing, she didn't even make enough money on my Cash App for me to even claim taxes, okay? Because it was like 3 months. Once I found out, I stopped her from using it because I seen exactly what she was doing. And I said, I can't be involved in this because I was not getting involved in it. Once I seen that she had money in her account and kept, asking, and I said, yo, that's not right. We can't do this. That's when I got accused of stealing money because I don't want to mess with somebody that's doing things like that.
Right.
I'm a disabled veteran. You're not going to mess up my benefits because of you. I thought that you really needed the help, and I thought that you were being serious about the help. But once I seen that this was all a scam, I said no. Let me back up. And no. You go back to using whoever Cash App you was using before mine. No, because she can't have her own Cash App.
It would be all right. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't sit like if she really needed it or something like that. That's one thing. But just come here and take advantage. And then what blows me, and I don't care who got something to say about this. Why I don't get why people send her money to go to concerts. I just don't get it. Maybe it's just not for me to get, or maybe people just feel bad for her, like because she doesn't get to do things. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I don't understand it. But
she went to go see Bow Wow 4 times.
Exactly.
In 1 year.
He should call, and I'm like, damn, man, y'all. If that's the case, hey, I want to go to see Little Baby. Y'all can send me some money for a ticket.
Right. And then the other thing is digital.
With the
I'm still
amount
looking
of
for the
money
money. I'm still looking for the food stamps from last month. I'm still looking for the money because her aide said she was taking her to her doctor's appointment today. She begged for $60 for that. The aide got up there and said she was taking her. So what happened to that money? You begged for $60 to get to and from your doctor's appointment. The aide was taking you.
Yeah, because everybody was like, Medicaid will take you. And she was like, no, not if I'm not at home. Because said she was in a hotel or whatever. And she said that they will not come get me unless I'm at home. Because people were calling her out on it. Shima even was asking her. And, Shima is close to Maggie. But she told her, she said, yeah, but wrong is wrong, Maggie. I mean, you're wrong for this.
Right.
I'm telling you, you're wrong.
The thing is that I know, like when I was dealing with Maggie on Instagram, the access ride used to come pick her up to go take her to her doctor's appointments. She used to have her medication mailed to her. She got free Pampers. So I don't understand when she get on live and saying, I need Pampers, y'all. It's free. I need to go to my doctor. It's free. I need to go pick up my medication. They mail it to you.
There's a program that actually you don't even have to go to the store and buy if you wear like Depends and stuff like that. You can just call if you're on Medicaid, which of course she is. But yeah, they just send them to your house every month.
Yeah, that's all she needs to do is put in. All she has to do is go online.
Maggie knows this, some of y'all. Come on now, she be on here. She knows what she's doing. She's hustling on here, and she's getting all her stuff. I know. I'm telling you, she's used to this. So she's using her benefits to get whatever she can get: her pamper, her food, medicine, all this stuff, and then she comes on here and begs for money for these things that people that she's already getting. People don't realize that, and they feel bad, and they send it to her, and she goes plays it in bingo. She even says it. She even said, people were like, well, what's that money I just sent you? Did you win some money in bingo? They know, a lot of these people are sending her money, and they know what she's doing with it. That's my thing. Okay, if they want to do that, that's fine. That's their money. They can do what they want to do with it, whatever. But quit taking advantage of the ones that don't got it. Because there was a lady on there that said, I ain't got the 59 cents on my cash app. She said, well, send me 59 cents. But then they say at the end of the day, Maggie will say, well, don't send me your last dollar. She won't take your last dollar. I don't know. I haven't seen that. I don't know. That's what
she does say that. She does say that. But the thing is that she takes money from kids. So what makes you think she cares about your last dollar? She takes money from kids.
Because I heard her. She clearly said it. That lady said she ain't got 59 cents. Give me that 59 cents. And I was like, man, you got to be kidding me.
But it was just so crazy because let me tell you this one here about the money situation. First of all, she did not use her food stamps last month. But why is she sitting online begging for DoorDash every day if she still has food stamps? Second of all, this cab money she has taken up, that's money going toward events that y'all don't even know about. She's going to beg.
She's got an event tomorrow. I don't know what event it is. I know she's got one tomorrow because she said it was for Thursday. When she was asking for that money, that's what caught my attention when Digital said something about her having it wrote down. She does have it wrote down because she had that notebook.
She has a notebook. She has that black and white notebook.
Awesome. I need $50 for my laundry soap. I think 30 for quarters or something like that, and the rest is for my event.
They bought her coin. Her aide gave her coins yesterday, but she was begging for laundry detergent. I want to know why is she begging for laundry detergent? $30 for laundry detergent or how much ever when she only has 3 shirts because she don't wear pants.
I think I screenshotted it because I think it was like 30 for soap and 20 for fabric softener or something like that. But it was $50 because I just kept on. I was making jokes. I was like, I ain't never seen no laundry soap no $50. And I use Gain, Come on.
And she's in a hotel, so imagine she's in a hotel. She go to the bottom. They give her that little box, which is like probably $3 or $2.50.
Why is she even in a hotel? She has a house. Does she
No,
not
her
have an
No,
apartment,
apartment?
the building
right.
elevator caught on fire. Because she
Oh,
only lives on the third floor. So she could walk upstairs. She goes there to get clothes and, she's going there to get her dolls out of the closet, to take them out for Mother's Day. And whoever sends in for that is ridiculous because I don't believe she is a mother.
Oh, she's not.
I haven't. I ain't seen no kid, and I mean, let me tell you, this is what I did. I just went back and pulled up. They say she's on Baddies, so I'm just gonna go see about this Baddies episode.
She
And I
only
went.
Please
uses
don't watch it.
baddies
Don't, let me
audition.
tell you, make sure when you see her, and you're not eating because she takes everything off. Do not. I'm telling you, she takes her onesie off from top to you see everything.
Yep,
Be
she said
careful.
that while she was in the line. That people like, you got your pamper on. She was like, yep, and I'm taking everything else off. I
And
was
she
like,
and she did,
no,
and
she
she
was
She
did.
not.
had poop in her diaper the other day and pulled it up. They said she had it on for like 2 days. Somebody sent her $40 and told her to go bathe. They
Take a
paid her
shower.
to take a
Yep.
bath, and she would not do it. And she had
Okay.
that poop
Guys,
diaper on for two
guys,
days.
guys, guys. I
What's
gotta
up?
drop y'all for a second.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
No
Yes, ma'am.
problem. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say that you're doing a wonderful job. Yeah, ladies, keep up with the good work. Honey, I'll talk with you a little later. Enjoy your TikTok live. You're doing a good job. Keep it up. Have a great day. I'll talk with you later.
Okay, baby.
Keep it up. Have a great day. I'll talk with you later.
Okay, baby. Thank you. Now y'all can run around and tell everybody he's real. The king has spoken. Y'all are hilarious. Don't tell him that, cause he gonna walk in here talking about where's his crown. Yeah, he is supportive. He's a sweetheart. I love him to death. See, I knew CJ was gonna have something to say. That's Mr. DD. Yes, chill. That is true about the diaper. He is sweet. Oh Lord, he gonna come in here looking for that crown. Miss sure she be wanting Tony. Y'all are hilarious. Okay. We gonna keep talking. We'll be talking about Maggie on Monday. So make sure y'all come back for that. We might as well get to the elephant in the room. We might as well get to the elephant in the room. Wait, what you say? I feel like her mind came on some just make it. Let's start with some of the lies. She was never in Maryland. She was never going to rehab. She was never in that housing situation. She doesn't eat not because she's not getting money. She is using it to fly high in the sky. And I've been saying to y'all for weeks, ever since she said it, she sang the Jay-Z lyric, I'm a hustler, baby. I just want you to know it's not where I've been, it's where I'm about to go. And as soon as she said that, I was like, I don't know if people understand or grasp the concept of what she is really telling y'all. She will say, do, act any way she needs to get what she wants. Yeah, Are You Volume? She literally said the entire bar. She is hustling, y'all. She does not care. Correct, Sherry. Absolute master manipulator. The crying, the I haven't eaten. Now, do I think people need to send her 10 cans of mushroom soup because she's allergic to mushrooms? Which, is she really the same way she says she's allergic to ground beef? It is actually a thing. I looked it up. You can be allergic to ground beef. But do I believe her? No. Now, did I laugh when she said somebody sent her 12 cans of mushroom soup? I did. I'm not going to front. I can be just as petty as everybody else. But let's be clear about a hustler. A hustler would have sold those cans of mushroom soup to other people who can't eat it to get a couple of dollars so they could get that C-rack. That's a hustler. And because we know she's good like that, trust me, she's reselling everything that gets sent to her. So while it is quote unquote funny to do so, you think she ain't taking that and making money off of it? Even if all she, like, let's say the can was $1, she'll be like 50 cents. She take 25 cents. What does she need it for if she's not going to eat it? Her up and down, and I mean from yelling and screaming to crying to coming back calm, that is addict behavior. That's not hungry behavior. Do you notice she hasn't lost any energy whatsoever? If you haven't eaten in as many days as she hasn't eaten, and she's not using rugs, because rugs will keep you up. When she's going through that roller coaster ride, that is getting some and withdrawal. Getting some and withdrawal. That's not hunger. You're truly scared of her. That's not hunger. She is playing with y'all. And for the life of me, now the fact that TikTok now has a gift that's I'm hungry, I got a good laugh out of that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, TikTok, you are petty. But the people who send her the other gifts on TikTok, I don't understand. The people who send her money on friends and family, yes, it annoys her. But she now no longer sends it back. She used to be like, she would send it back because she would think it was a mistake and then try to ask them to send it back to her. And then she would realize she doesn't do that anymore because she's a hustler. She just has to wait 20 days. In 20 days, she's going to need racks. She knows it. So she's not going to send it back. Erica, you spending 5 seconds worrying about her is 5 seconds longer than she's worried about herself. When she's like, I'm on the phone with my dad and he wants to know if I eaten and I told him no, but I don't want him to worry about it. There ain't nobody on the phone. You want to know how I know? Because do you remember when she was in the man's house? This was like day 2 after being kicked out by the landlord. She was like, nobody cares about me. Not even my parents have called to check on me. Why? Because you are grown and they're done. They didn't want to let you come after you lost your housing, but they let you. They gave you a million rules. One was you cannot be on TikTok begging for money. You broke that rule probably within an hour of getting there. Because if y'all remember, that first time she got into it with Nicole, the one thing she didn't want was her father to come outside. And when he did, he's like, what are you doing? And then, of course, she's trying to hustle to put the phone down and all of that. That went away because they realized they couldn't stop her. So they just stopped trying. They don't want that again. Her daughter, Abby, from what I have heard, is fine and happy and has nothing to do with her. I get it, Erica, but anybody who's been an addict will tell you that they have to want to do it for themselves. I saw a clip yesterday that was like, no job, no family, no friends, no significant other is going to stop you or is going to be the reason you stop. You have to stop because you want to stop, and then you use the people you care about or whatever as the motivation to keep going. But if you start there, you're going to go back. And that's based on people who have had it done. Correct, Wyoming. She's eating. She's eating if she wants to. But this money grab is not for food. And when I get disheartened for two reasons. When I see her get the gifts, because she's not getting a lot, but it is showing her support. Now, the one that says I'm hungry, that's trolling. I get that. That's a penny. She's not making any money off that. But as long as she sees gifts coming, she knows she has support. And I equally get disappointed when she pauses for longer than 10, 15 seconds. Because I know that means that somebody sent her money. Because Lisa's MO is when she gets money, she pauses, she lets it stay paused for a while, and then she just ends the live. Now, I have gotten her taken down. Let me see if I took a picture of that. I can't remember. Just so that I know y'all can't see the comments, but just so that y'all can see. Homeless and defeated, violations found. I'm hard RNs, violations found. Hold on, guys. Now, below this, no violations were found. But I did hit her. I don't even remember for what. But I did get her once. No, she's not in detox. She's not in rehab. She's not going to a rehab. She was never in Maryland. She's not hungry. She's not desperate. She's trying to make herself seem that way. And I can't remember who said it, so forgive me. But I believe that it is a good idea that as soon as she shuts the comments off, that we leave. And the numbers plummet. Now, we can watch somebody streaming her. And if nobody is streaming her, you be the person to stream her. Or watch from the outside. I agree, Hot Mess. She literally will dox people who have helped her, so they dox again. Vampry every time. Because, of course, when people ended up finding videos of her in Pittsburgh and everybody knew it, she was like, whether I'm in Maryland or Pittsburgh or on the moon, it doesn't matter. I need to eat. Mikey, she does. Good morning. Go ahead. Good morning.
Um, yeah, it was funny. I was just like thrown back. So I recorded her the other day, and let me tell y'all, I have never in my life heard a grown adult throw a temper tantrum worse than a 2 year old. I was like, oh my god, this girl is on one. And then she was calling white people names. I don't remember what she said, like, hey, you stupid pansy ass white people or something like that. I'm like,
What?
well, if that's yeah, yeah, she sure did. She sure did. I didn't get that part of it recorded because I was just like, and you really expect people to help you, and then you're gonna call people names like this, and because that we're
Hot Mess, we can't hear you. You're
in
going in and out.
the, oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, she was mad because people were sending her money via not via friends and family, the normal
Hmm.
way, and she was getting pissed off at it, and she was just going on a rant, calling people names, and there's like 2,000 people. There was 2,000 of us in that live the other day.
Hmm. Yep. And I listen.
I'm
If
like,
I see it come up that she's live, I don't care who lives I'm in. I drop and go see her because she is always gonna have a show of some kind. But I really do think that when she cuts off the comments so that there's nothing more to say to warn people, leave and let her comments drop to nothing. And because she gets off on it, I know what I was gonna say earlier. A lot of people who had former addictions, they will sometimes become addicted to grown adult things. They'll get addicted to food, they'll get addicted to drinking. TikTok has become an addiction for some of them. The beg has become an
mm-hmm,
addiction for some of them. They literally have
mm-hmm.
flipped their addiction because they have an addictive personality to TikTok. And I think
Well, when she,
that what's her Streeter, whatever her Sean, whatever her name is, I can't even think it now. Because she says that she's a recovering addict and she's bringing awareness. I have never in my life heard her say one thing about being a recovering addict, helping people who may be recovering addicts or want to be recovering addicts. It's all about money, and I believe TikTok has become her new addiction. That Shauna
oh yeah,
Sweeter or whatever her name is, I can't think of it right now.
yep,
But go ahead.
Sheena Sweetser, yeah.
Yep.
But I noticed that when she turns her comments off, that's when all the gifts come in.
Right, because those are people that want her to know that they're supporting her. I
Well, I
did
would say
not know
something,
that we
and
were convicted
and
felons.
I might be a little bit mean, and, but I'm sorry for those of y'all who don't send money to people on this app. Kudos to you, but for those of you that have been warned consistently and consistently and consistently and still continue to do it, shame on y'all. Don't
Oh, I
shame
don't
on
feel
you.
any sympathy, empathy, none of it. If you've been warned and you continue to still give, I have no words for you. My life isn't for you
Right.
because, and that's why I only send one message. And unless they write me back, I send one message. You get one warning from me. And if you
Yeah.
choose to ignore it, report me, block me, which I don't understand what reporting me is supposed to do. I followed the guidelines and I make sure that I don't say anything mean. But I have nothing for them. I am
Right.
on the side of trying to prevent people, or if people get burned a couple of times, open arms. You can come here and talk about it. But if you've been warned over and over and over again, and you still choose to give, you still allow her to manipulate you. She's already said your name. So why are you afraid? She said it.
Uh-huh.
We know. Move on. So yeah,
You're absolutely right.
that's not mean. They don't get nothing from me. Not at
I've never
all.
given a dime. I give gifts to those who are deserving of it, but I don't send money to anybody on this app. That's just dumb.
Correct.
This isn't a grown adult app, and it's not our responsibility to take care of you. We can work, so can you. If you can take the time out of your day to sit on TikTok and beg and beg and beg and beg and beg, you have time that you can go find a job. But that's called lazy.
Correct. They have gotten it so many times that it has now become the expectation. Like when she's like, "How can you as adults let me starve?" Ma'am, people were giving you money when they thought you were starving in the past and it was for rugs. Why should people believe you now?
She ain't
If
starving. Okay,
right,
well,
of course
thank you for
not.
letting me in your box. I have to go get my coffee now, so I'm gonna hop
Oh
out.
yes, please go get your coffee. I got mine. Please go get your coffee.
Oh yes.
Thank you for
All right,
coming up.
thanks. Bye, guys.
Welcome anytime. Right. She's like, "You are starving me. How can grown adults sit here and watch me starve to death?" That's not what we're watching. We're watching you use the money that you get to fly high as a kite. And we are watching you destroy your life. We've been watching you just think about where her life has been in 1 year. 1 year. I look back at some of the older videos. Nookie had put up a series of older videos of Lisa. She had more weight on her. She was more consistent. She popped on or popped in. Okay. Of course she is. She wants some more money. No filter. Please celebrate that. Please celebrate that. I'm proud of you. I know it's not easy to cross that barrier, but once you do, stick with it. Yeah, Maggie is relentless. That's okay. That relentlessness, that hard headedness, that my mama used to say, a hard head makes a soft ass. Right. Think about the year. Y'all remember the video where she thought she was on mute and she was talking to the DD? He was like, "You're a grown woman. Stop playing games and blah, blah." And she's like, "Okay. Okay, okay. Yep, I got the money. Blah, blah, blah." And now she talks about that time like y'all knew what it was. You didn't, but were you telling us that was what it was then? No. You weren't saying, "Listen, I need money for rugs." You were saying, "I need a pizza. I need to eat. I need to buy something for Jace. I need to buy something for my daughter. I need to." She never said she needed anything for the dog and the cat, though. But you weren't telling us it was for rugs then. So why are we supposed to believe you now? Why are we supposed to believe you now? We people were believing you then, and you now admit you were lying. And after she lost Jace, so that she didn't have to keep herself together, she ate because she was making sure Jace ate. She also had food stamps back then. And when he left, most of us thought that's gonna be the final straw. No, she upped her game. She upped her game. And now she's talking about I've been clean for a month. Be for real. Out the blue, after all of these years, you quit cold turkey for no reason? Correct, Mickey. Again, there's no too low for her. And I personally feel like it was karma when she put out that obituary about her stepdad and he went into the hospital into a coma. I felt bad for him. I didn't feel bad for her. And whoever helped her do that, your karma is coming too. Kim says it wasn't her, but Kim was the first person to like co-sign that it was real, but she didn't know nothing about it. Okay, right. Her chickens is coming home to roost. Shout out to Malcolm X. We love Lisa Richard. Okay, Ghost. Have at it, boo. I said the same thing, Kelly. Who is clean for a month that goes to rehab? I really thought that to avoid homelessness, she might go to rehab. But of course, somebody made a way for her so that she at least can be inside with the ex neighbor. Why would she go?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
So I was watching earlier and I saw somebody say that they've never seen Maggie before. So just in case there's anyone in here that has not seen Lisa before, and I don't know how that's possible, but whatever. Yesterday's live was Lisa without her rugs. That was
Which one? Because she came on multiple times.
oh
Was it the 6 a.m. one or the
I
5:30 one?
it was the 6 when she was just blowing her mouth and being as mean and ugly and vile as she could possibly be. And that was her absolutely dry. And she people aren't seeing, they're not watching. They're listening to her say, I don't have food, I don't have a place to live, it's raining, I'm wet and I'm hungry, and they're not looking at the soot on her face and the black fingers and the dry mouth, and they're not looking at all that. They're just going in for the sympathy triggers.
Of course, that's why she does it. And people who don't have experience with people who are addicts can't recognize it because they don't know what it looks like. And I was an adult before I had any interaction with an addict. I would not have known.
Right.
And so
And
that's why part of why I do what I do is because some people don't know.
and when she starts saying that she's going to dox the names of people who gift her on the back end, so what? If you look up your own name on Google, there are a handful of people with the same last name. No one is going to know it's that particular person, but that's just a sign to stop giving her money.
I always say she can only dox you one time with
Mhm.
your name. So let her go ahead and say it. It's done. It's over with. Will you receive some hate from people? Yes. But then it's over because she'll be doxing somebody else soon.
Yep. It's
She
just,
says she's Muslim now.
yeah. And that, when that chat goes off, leave.
Yep.
Just go.
A hundred
Don't even,
percent.
yeah, don't even go in. Sit outside and window watch. Just, if you're tempted by what she's saying to say something sympathetic towards her, then window watch. Don't even go in to have that temptation to say something.
Right. Because the more interaction she gets, the higher up on the FYP she goes, which is why sometimes she does all of that raging because she knows it's going to bring people in. And once she hits 1,000, the algorithm is like, go to her, go to her, go to her, go to her. She will be the top one.
Mm, yep. It's
JRD,
horrible.
I'm going to talk about him on Monday, but I did talk about him a little bit already.
All right, digital. I just had to hop up for a minute. So you have lots of recovery time from tomorrow, and I'll be thinking of you.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Have a wonderful day. And I want everybody to have a wonderful weekend. Because I don't think anybody, I mean, you're going to see me in the comments, maybe. Because a lot of times I got to be on burners because they clock digital immediately. But I'll be around. I'll be watching. She made ranks last week. I bet she did. I bet she did. So it's almost 9:30. Digital. You see, she made ranks. I did not see her make ranks, but I don't doubt it at all. We got through all 9. Let me do this one more again. Digital After Dark will be May 17th at 8 p.m. I am looking for scammer experts. And what do I mean by that? I mean people who have been watching and studying people for a while. It doesn't have to be a scammer that I personally cover, just they're experts on that person. If you are that person, send me a message because I want to add you to the Digital After Dark. If you know someone who's that person, either send them my way or send me their information and I will place them on the Digital After Dark. What's the problem, Ghost? You can love on this app whoever you like. I'm still going to talk about them. Okay? So, oh, domestic survivor. Listen, after she got that, what, $1,200, $900 for her dog, I was done. I was done. This is probably Lisa. That would be hilarious if that was Lisa. Don't engage, guys. Don't engage. There's no point. I did not see Jay. When I saw her, she was regular. I don't know why they think that they could do sub only lives and they're going to get a whole bunch of money. Most of the people in there are just there to be nosy. They don't care about throwing away $2.69 or $2.99 a month. Yeah, don't go back and forth. It's pointless. That's what they want you to do. So, a reminder, there will be no live on Friday. I will post it. There will be a sub-only live Sunday night at 7. You are not obligated to sub. We talk about some tactics. They get a preview of Monday's live. They're able to ask. Sorry. Kara just scared the crap out of White Sox. Now he's up, so you know it's time for me to go. But, so there'll be a 7 p.m. sub-only chat for 30 minutes. You are not obligated to sub. That's okay, Ali Pop. I don't talk about anything there that you are not going to hear Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And for the record, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Digital After Dark will always be open to everybody. They will never be sub only. Okay? Really, Mickey, that's funny. And then Monday morning we'll be back on to regular scheduled programming as long as everything is okay. Gotta make sure CJ heals up. But I should be good. So, you know what I always say? Hug your loved ones because tomorrow is not promised. Make sure you take 15 minutes a day of self-care. If you can't do 15 minutes, start with 3. If you have to hide in the bathroom, the attic, the basement, you got to park 5 minutes away from home, make sure you do it. Because if you are not taking care of yourself, you cannot take care of the people that you love. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate that you spend time with me when you could be spending time doing anything else. I appreciate the support. I hope that what I give you brings value. And if I do, hit the daily heart me. Join the team. I hate that TikTok calls it a fan. You know what, CJ? You're hilarious. So, everyone have a fantastic weekend. And if you don't see me in any comments, I'll be here Sunday and then Monday morning, 6:30 a.m. sharp. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. All right. I'm out. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay, CJ. Maybe later. Because tomorrow I'm going to be at the dentist. So it'll probably be later today.